I'm going to talk about opening silver, which is something that's often discussed because, well, in Dominion and maybe you can call it in life too, better things tend to cost more. And in Dominion specifically, oftentimes the thing that they cost is going to be 5 coins. It'd be nice if that were life too, but things tend to cost more, and most of the time when you're sitting in your opening, you are having 3 coins and 4 coins in some order. And so when you're targeting this 5, how do I make my 3 coin hand or my 4 coin hand turn into a 5 coin hand? Well, it's going to be, there's lots of theory about it. You're going to add a silver or 2, and you're opening silver in order to reach that price point. Well, the secret is that I don't know if it's really a secret, but the secret is that the best way to be consistently reaching these higher price points isn't actually going to be adding silver. It's going to be getting rid of your estates. You think about it. You have your 7 copper, 3 estates start. There's all these statistics like, okay, I add a silver and I add a moat, or I add 2 silvers, whatever, and this makes me however likely to be hitting 5. Well, if you just look at this hand or this deck and you get rid of all these states, well, you're hitting 5 every turn. Like, gosh, you're already there. Clearly you can't just do that, but for the longer term health of your deck, probably you want to be removing these estates a little bit more than you want to be putting silvers in. So when you look at the opening, if there's something that's going to be removing my estates, that's definitely going to be a lot more appealing to me than taking a silver. The obviously sometimes that's not going to exist at the 3 or 4 price point. Like, some of these better cards are cards that do trash estates. So when you're targeting this 5, sometimes you're doing that to remove your estates. Like, it's going to be necessary to open silver in order to do this thing that I want to do for the long-term health of my deck. You're going to be opening silver to make it so that I can remove the estates. I can buy that junk dealer, I can buy that upgrade, whatever. And then the other case is like, I'm buying the silver to get that discard attack, to get that junking attack. If we go back to the deck that suddenly has removed its estates and just has 7 coppers floating around, like, I make a discard attack on that, it's not hitting 5 anymore. I start throwing curses into that, it's not hitting 5 every turn anymore. And so, some of the times you can open silver to target the things that make this not true. Eventually you will probably be needing to add some extra economy in one way or another, to be getting up to these price points that you want. But even when it's going to be necessary later on, you oftentimes want to be delaying that silver. Like, maybe rather than having a state trasher, like if you have a copper trasher at the 4 price point, you have a gainer at the 4 price point, that's going to be something that's really useful to be playing a lot. Putting a silver in is going to inhibit your ability to play either of those things. I put a silver in, it's taking up a space in my deck, makes it just a little bit harder to be playing my Spice Merchant often. Makes it just a little bit harder to be playing my Groom all that often. And so oftentimes you're going to be waiting for a little bit more control before you start pursuing this price point, just because like these other things I can do are maybe a little bit more important than getting my estates out, and a little bit more important than hitting 5 a lot. And so, maybe I'm going to delay the silver just to not interfere with doing these things that clearly I'd rather be doing. And then I guess eventually, silver is just this payload card that you can add. Eventually it just turns into like this isn't really considering in the opening, it's just something that is good, but it also means that, in the opening, if you're doing this if you're skipping silver to do like this estate removal and your opponent is gaining silver, like at some point, if you're, looking at about the same pace, it can feel really, really bad. They'll just have 2 more coins. This is something that it's another one of these things where it's really difficult to evaluate off a single game. Like, was I supposed to open silver because, I could get my estates out just as well? Well, maybe not. Maybe they got lucky. Maybe I got unlucky. And it feels bad now. But again, it's one of these things where you kind of have to build up over time. And really the default is, avoid the silvers early. This clogging up your deck thing is not going to be where it's at, and you'd much rather be reaching your good price points in other ways.